do. You have a right to speak. Now, Honey Biscuits, respect must be given because I only let very few people up here and even around my aura, period. So be really, really careful with what you was finna say. But go ahead, take it away, Ty.
Nah, but that's what I'm saying though. But if for real, Diva probably had it the hardest. You see what I'm saying? Because she was dating a black man or raising black children. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it how she looking at it. The way I've been sitting here just listening, and I ain't said shit.
Mm-hmm.
I just been sitting here
Mm-hmm.
listening, but it sounds like you do, like you hate your own kind, shorty. Like for real, I don't feel like
Well,
she said nothing
I
wrong
want to
too.
say this. I'm in agreement with a lot that Honey Biscuits is saying because I do have a different kind of outlook on things. You know what I'm saying?
I
Hey,
agreed
I
with
ain't with it.
some
I
things
see
she
what's
said
going
as
on.
well. Yeah, I see.
You know what I mean?
I agree with
I see
some of the
what's
things
going
she
on.
said
Ain't
as
lost to
well.
it. Niggas got a bunch of fucking excuses. They ain't doing right. Fuck all that.
Right, as
But
far
do
as
I love
you know
them
what I'm saying
though?
with the guys now, but
Ah,
I'm saying like
look.
with just
Ah.
men, period, or I went and dated a guy that just came out of jail, whatever. Sometimes people don't know what situations people were put in when they was younger. If a little boy was forced to take care of his family or something like that because his mama worked a million hours and only got pennies for a paycheck and couldn't feed the whole entire household or some shit like that. You never know what people just had to do to survive out here. And we all know that they would put a million years on a black man for just like petty drugs or some shit like that. Yeah. But you live and you learn. And then there was a lot of people that went in jail and came out as success stories. And I'm saying, like, okay, hold a nigga down while you're in jail because these niggas, no, I'm not saying that because I'm not going to do it. I already did it and it failed. And I told myself I'm not doing that shit again. But I ain't about to sit up here and just X out the whole entire black man just because. Because I feel like, and in logos, and everybody know that I say this all the time. I feel like people be so easy on these no shit ass women either, and don't give the same
Yeah,
excuses that they give women to
but
men.
listen, we already spoke on that. Just
Right.
how we
I said I
jumped
just
on
been sitting here
Muriel's neck.
listening.
You understand? We hold the women accountable. We know the ratchets. We know and be like, girl, what the? But a black
Uh-uh.
man is not
Nah.
gonna check no another black man. I don't care what you say. That's not my business. That's that man business. What?
Yeah. Yeah, I
What?
feel you on that. I
Come
feel you
on
on
now.
that
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, we
And
gets
Yeah.
my
with
thing
it. Us
is,
as black women and
But
we
I don't be
stick
feeling like,
together. We do.
mm-mm. I
but
think that black
you know
women
what? One thing I
I think
have
black
noticed,
women give other women more of a, oh, it's going to be okay. Well, this sister has a mental problem. This sister is
Shit,
going
no the
through a
fuck I
lot.
don't.
This is
I don't hear
not
that. But
you,
one thing I do
logos. I'm not
hear
saying that.
is
I'm
if
saying other women. I see too many women coddling these no shit ass bitches. I do. And it's
correct.
always,
I don't
oh,
see it.
you're doing okay. When a motherfucker sitting there abusing a million kids on live, oh, she's trying, you guys. She's trying. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So it
Mm-hmm.
it
You
do
know
it
what?
did
I've
sound
had
like
this
you was like
conversations with
hating your
not on
kind for real.
Bigo.
Like I agree, but you saying that about Diva or here come the white tears or something like that. Like you don't know what this woman went through. For real, for real.
Right,
Like you
right,
don't.
right, right.
You don't
I
know her
can't get with
story.
that. Uh-uh.
The
And
one thing I
I
do
don't
hear
agree
is
with
when
that.
you talk, when anybody talks up about the black community, the first thing they say is you gotta hate your community. This conversation isn't about hate. It's about looking at what's actually going on. I'm talking about the true
And we
how
need
the
to look
community
at it.
is. So none of this
Mm-hmm.
is coming from an angle of hate. It's just pointing out the obvious. So when I hear a white woman say, "Well, what I did at with a when I got a black man," and then you piggyback and said she probably had it harder than us. again, that is a conditioning. Most of what I've been hearing is a lot of women conditioned to be in the forefront of every battle in the black community. When a black man is taken down, it's black women who stand up. When there's things going on with the children, it's black women who stand up. When they get in their little groups and they be talking about y'all as 304s and bitches and hoes and single baby mamas, you do not see black men coming up and say, oh, you just hate all communities. But the moment a black woman points out issues, it's the men and the women that put the hate on her. So to me, you both have been conditioned. And when I hear white women come up into the same space talking about their experiences, like that validates or invalidates what we're talking about. That is why I say it, because nothing I said should have brought out tears. But what I call that is to me, it's weaponizing your tears, weaponizing your experience. Because again, if you really look at it, it's not like our brothers go out here and get the elite of the elite white women. They get with the white women who
Wait a minute.
are
Wait.
less.
Dude, do you have an issue?
Wait a minute.
Do you have
Hold
an
it.
issue?
Open
Do you have
up
an
the
issue?
panel,
Hold
logos.
up.
Open up the panel for Gerard. Gerard want to come up real quick.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Now
Gerard
we got a women's
we already
panel
know.
going on. What you want? I'm gonna let
I
you
have
up.
a question.
I'll let you
I
up.
have a question. I have a question for 3 real quick. Do you have an issue with white
This a
women with
woman's
black
panel,
men?
baby.
Do you
Do
have
I
an
have an
issue
issue
with
with
black
what?
men being with white women?
No, I wouldn't give a crap. They can get their passports and go. That's not an issue. That's a non-factor issue. Now they
Passports
wanted
and
to have
go
an issue.
where? And go
Say
where?
it again.
Where they going?
Sound like you have a problem with your own race and the white race.
Be
So
I
where the
don't
done.
fuck
have
do
a
you
problem with my
stand?
race. I don't have a
But
problem with my
you
race. I don't even look at anybody if they date outside their race. That is not a factor in what we're talking about. I'm not one of those women that say, "Oh my God, there's another black brother gone." That is the least. I don't even look that way. That's not even a problem. The
okay,
problem
so
I
you
have is
have
when we
a
sit here
problem
and
with
have
white
conversation
people.
about what's
She
wrong
has
in the
a
You
community.
problem
sat
with
there
black
and said, "Oh, here's the white card." Man, fuck you for saying that. I'm gonna be real.
man.
Oh
For
well,
real, for
okay.
real.
What I'm saying is, when we're having these conversations of the black community, and you get someone who comes up here who's a non-black, and they try to sit here and tell us about what they did with with a brother, and I'm sitting here talking about what's wrong in our community, and the head of what's wrong with our community is our black males, and
You
here
better
you are
hope I
saying I
don't have
dated
to
men out of
stand up
prison,
for any of
as
your
if that makes
children
it
or
better.
any of your family, because I've stood in the front line of a bunch of people. I run a whole justice group, and I get a lot of respect from black, white, Asian, Mexican, any color you can imagine.
Thank
So
you.
I hope nothing bad happens to your family and I don't have to stand up for yours. That's all I got to say.
Okay, and
say
let me
something
just
for a
say
second.
this. Who is this?
This
Who
shit
is
just went
this?
fucking left.
Savvy Way? You trying to
Hey, how
come
y'all
up?
doing? I was trying to come up for a long time, but I guess I couldn't hit the button. Hello, how y'all doing?
I like
Good.
it.
Hey,
How are
How are
you?
you?
Savvy. You good,
I mean,
Savvy?
Yeah.
You cute.
I tell you how. Thank you. I mean, listen. I was just listening, and I was, I was cool with it, and then, this shit just went left somewhere, and I just want to
Yes, it
sit here and
did.
say,
It's
seriously,
like, what
I
the
was down
fuck?
with y'all, and everything just went freaking left. I feel like everybody's using, not everybody, let me not say that, but people are taking one word and just running with it. Like if somebody's sitting there
Right.
crying, that lady might be emotional at what happened. It doesn't have to be the white card. Maybe she really was hurt, Jen, and then
Fact.
honestly, when she sat there and said, hey, it sounds like you don't like your race, she wasn't telling the lady how to talk about her race. She just was saying what she felt like it sounded like everything is not having to be like a bash and a dag. We can sit here and say opinions and talk to each other without making each other feel like shit. Like it was all good, and then this shit just went left. And that's all I came to say. But get this shit right back together, because it ain't got to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Right. Sorry. Because
Period.
no. It's
And
not
I
a
do want to
competition.
say this
Exactly.
though.
It's not a competition. Like everybody is different. We come from all walks
Calm
of life.
down, baby doll, if you can, babe.
Sorry. How do I calm down?
No, I'm talking to baby doll.
Oh, okay. But it's like we all have different opinions, and you can't get mad at me for mine and get mad at her for hers. It is fine. And we're talking about the black community. She's talking about she jumped in. Why? Because she has a black son. But like we can all talk about it. It's a conversation. But to be sitting here getting mad and then like just like pointing the fingers and making names about each other and things like that, it don't even gotta be that. It don't even gotta be
Right.
that. Everything is a mindset. And that's the first thing people gotta get. It's a mindset. It's a
Thank
lot of things in the black
you.
community. It's a mindset. No, we did not have this growing up. Why? Because our ancestors and stuff, they wasn't taught it. They was taught to cook. They was being
Amen.
raped. They was being beaten. So we didn't
Thank
get
you.
that. But now that we got that now, we have no excuse not to teach our kids today. So what we gonna sit here and argue
Amen.
with each other for what we didn't learn? Or we gonna sit here and get together and teach these kids what they're supposed to know? Like, are y'all kidding me right now? That's what they were supposed to be doing on here. This is Bigo before I get old. Before we get old, let's do this shit and make this shit win. We're gonna sit here and have back and forth panels about what we should have did and what they could have did and what they didn't do. Who gives a fuck? What the fuck we gonna do now? We up here on the panel.
Amen.
It's about 12 of us on here. What we gonna do to do this? How are we gonna make this better? We got a white woman on here. She got some black kids. What can we say for her to give her kids some encouragement to grow up in this black world today? How can we show her and
Amen.
talk to her kids about not having to go outside and get the fuck hit by fucking, you know what I'm saying, by the police and things like that? She got to learn too. And the only people she can learn from is the black motherfucking people. Okay? Because guess what?
Amen.
The man stuck dick in her. He can't stick a fucking black brain in her. Okay? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you or nothing like that, but that's what the fuck I meant. Thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
Sally.
boo. Well, I
I'ma
do
pipe
just want
down.
to say
I'ma
this
pipe
real
down.
quick. Okay, hon. I do just want to say this real quick. With all that being said, now I kept I don't know where Honeybit's still here. Kept trying to keep that under control, but then you can't just say anything you want to her. We got to keep it at a respect level. You understand what I'm saying? So like when I'm hearing something, I'm gonna say something. I need everybody to not be in their feels about it. If I'm like, hey, okay, because I'm looking at it diplomatically or just using my managerial skills. But let's proceed. That's why I don't like doing panels because I'm in a frenzy right now. Y'all is what the fuck? Yeah.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
Logos. Hey, panel. I'm just going to say my little spiel and I'm going to get down.
Okay, buddy.
When you say black community and the things that I'm hearing people describe, they're describing things from the hood. I live in a black community and it's not the inner city. It's not the hood. But I was born and raised in the hood in Detroit. So I know what goes on there. And I agree with a lot of things, just like Logos that was said. But when I speak of those things, I have to look at the conditioning, the gentrification, the society as a whole, and how it has set up the hood to be the way it is. I can't just blame the men or women in the hood for what was set up for them to be. But even though I say that, there are people there that are wrong any way you look at it. That are people there that are outside the hood that are wrong any way you look at it. So not to come off as me hating my people, I guess I have a little more empathy for what they went through. That's it. And
Yeah,
are going through.
I get you. I get you. But the reason I don't
Hey.
have that same empathy, because I ain't did nothing can't nobody else do. You gotta wanna do it. That's why I don't have that empathy there. For some. Some I do, some I don't. Go ahead, Gerard, take it away.
Hey. Uh, this is an interesting conversation because I ain't got to tell my story, but I walked on here. I actually didn't walk on here. I was brought on here. And when I first came on here, it was men and women holding me accountable for not dealing with my son in a certain type of way. So when I
Right.
heard that lady say that we don't hold people accountable. I had a whole damn app hold me accountable. And as they told me about myself, I listened. As a black man, don't say every black man is the same. Don't say every black man is not capable. Not only did they hold me accountable, but I held myself accountable too. And every day, now that I am dealing with my son, I'm teaching my son how to be accountable as well and not make the same mistakes I made too. So don't be so quick to shut down men and black men in particular about what we don't do. Learn how to talk to them and talk to the right ones. You can only help change the ones that want to change. I wanted to change. And when these women came to me and these men came to me, it made me a better person for my son. So don't be so hard to just, don't sound so angry at black men. Because some of us want to and try to do better. We don't always have the ability to do it. But all you need is the right person to help some people understand. Leaders, I don't believe leaders are naturally leaders. I believe that they're built and trained into leaders. So before you start throwing so many stones at not just black men, but black boys, because remember, those boys turn to men. Before you start throwing stones at them, be willing to train them up to be incredible men. And it's disheartening that you would throw away a black man, even if you, even if he is mixed. The world looks at him as a black man. He is black. You don't get to make that decision of who he is because you don't like how light he is or you don't like how dark he is. He's black. If you want that black man to be something, you start treating him with that level of respect. And I get it. I get it. Men need to respect black women more. I get that. But you can only start with the ones that you can touch. So
Right. And I think
don't
maybe
be
you
so
missed that
angry.
part. I think you missed that part. And see, just like, see me, I ain't angry, but that will give the, hey, the angry black woman thing. When somebody says, oh, don't be so angry, because we did say it's not all black men, but that should go without saying, because it can't be all of anything, no matter what we're talking about. We know it's some good ones out there, but hey, either they're taken or don't want to be took. So that's basically what it boils down to. And I literally gave you your respect as a black man and the floor. Everyone, pure silence for you. So now it ain't all disrespect. It just depends on the man. Because we know it ain't all. Because we know you ain't
That's right.
available now, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
and
basically what we're saying.
again, yeah, as much stuff as I went through with my son's mother, you ain't heard me talk crazy about her. I
Period.
refuse
And
to talk
again, you are
terrible about
taken,
black women.
right? Mhm. This is the point
Listen,
I'm making.
God led me into the right direction. But listen,
I'm just saying now.
and I make this very and let me also say this too. I don't hang around male friends that don't hold me accountable either. All my male friends we hold each other accountable. When we
That's
do
what's
something,
up.
we say, "Yo, man, what you doing?" That's in our marriages. That's in the way we raise our children. That's in everything we do. We sometimes get overlooked because sometimes we don't look like the common, as you would say, an alpha male or this and that, you know. But we hold each other accountable. It's just you have to find the right group of people. You know, yeah, they're
Period.
out there. You know,
They
and
are
I'm
out
sorry.
there.
And let me say this. And let me say this. I'm sorry that you came across some men that just wasn't upright. that sucks. And I get it because I came across some women that wasn't upright too. But it didn't make me say I hate all black women or black women this or black women that. It's not, I don't think that's fair to put on there and
Who
put
said
on black
that?
women because of my bad experiences. No, not just my bad experiences, my choices of the women that I picked. I can't put that on all women. And that's all I wanted to say. I don't want you to, well, I think it was like Honey Biscuit. I don't want you to feel that way, that this is how every man is. I have I have three single male friends, almost 40 with no kids. And I'm telling you, they out there. They may not be in your town. They may not be right where you see them, but they out there. Just let them be them and find
Oh,
them.
I think y'all. Sorry, not to cut you off, Gerald. Okay, I have an entire family and friends of black men that I'm not talking about. I meet black men on all levels that I'm not talking about. I don't have a hate for my own community. So everybody came up here saying I hate. They gave me the one up. Your one experience with your boyfriend, your one experience with your husband, your one experience as a man. I'm not talking about that. Because I could have came up here and said the same thing. I could have been like, "Oh, well, that's all true." Da, da, da. Because first of all, I didn't even know half of what was wrong in our community, really, till the internet came about. Then you can watch different things. What I'm talking about
Mhm.
is the majority, because everybody
In
came up here talking
in the
about this
high
one
90
off.
percentile.
Correct.
The high
We're talking about
90s.
the majority of the black men and black women and women, we have a problem mostly, I wasn't really going in on women except for being accountable to birthing and having children out of wedlock and so on and so forth. That's where, that was the combination that initiated this. But we're talking about the downfall of the black community, and does that responsibility does not lay on the women, because we've been holding it down, raising the children, building the business, doing all of that stuff. So that is why I'm talking exclusively about the majority of black men. So you're a one off. The other lady before, she
That's
has a
why I don't
one
want
off.
nobody to
We're talking about the
personalize it.
masses.
So
Right.
what you're
Let's not
saying is,
personalize this.
you're
No, I'm not
saying that
personalized. I'm just
as a
saying everybody's
No,
majority.
coming
no,
up
that
with this
no, I
one
mean
off.
agreeing with what you're saying. That's why I'm
So
saying
what you're
not to
saying is a
personalize it. We're talking
majority.
about the majority.
You're saying the majority. We need to change the numbers from the sum being the more, is what you're trying to say.
I'm trying
Now
to say that the
don't get
issues with
all
the black community
mathematical
is
on
a
me now.
majority issue with the majority of black men. That's I'm going to say
So
that has nothing to do with
so
hate.
what
I'm
I'm
going to
saying
tell you the
is, so what I'm
majority
saying
of the
is,
issues.
so you're saying that we need to change that some men to majority of the men. That's what you're trying to say. You're trying to say
Correct.
people need to step up. I, okay. Well,
And I
I'm telling
concur.
you,
Here, here.
I got six boys, and I promise you, I'm gonna turn them into the majority. I'm gonna
Period,
do my
Gerard.
part. I'm gonna do my part. So I can tell you that. And everybody up here who know my story, every time I say I do something, I'm gonna do it.
Period.
So
And that's
I
why we
got you on
love
my,
you,
I
Gerard.
got you.
We always gotta say, but we ain't talking about Gerard, but every time we
Listen,
talking about
I'm gonna do
your
my part.
girl, we
I'm gonna do
always
my
have
part.
to say that. Stop time. We do. We always gotta say, well, not Gerard, but we always say it. We do. For real.
I'm gonna
For
step
real.
down. I'm gonna step down,
All
but Honey
right.
Biscuit,
You're lucky
like I
I love
said,
you. Cause this is ladies
Honey
panel,
Biscuit, I get it, and I like listening to this. Listen, y'all don't understand. I like listening to this because it helps. I think it helps have conversations that me and my friends have, and I can fill it in. But Honey Biscuit,
boo.
like I said, I'll do my six. I can promise you that.
Yeah. I love it, guys. I love it. I'm still a little nervous, but I love it. I'm nervous. I'm like, oh shit. Shit. Yeah. Let me calm down. Yeah, please. Yay. You gotta be good. You gotta be good. But we also have to look at things on a larger scale. You gotta come up out them closets. All right? Come up out them closets. Get off of that tunnel vision. Because the other races, they're just another race. We still the same species. They ain't too much different than us. They're not. Okay? I mean, have you ever been with anyone outside your race intimately? You know, goddamn different. But it's a little bit. It's a little bit of difference. But it depends on their personality. So, let me shut the fuck up. I'm a hush. Right. It just got a little more, I don't know. I don't know. Me personally, let me hush. Go ahead, y'all.
No, love, go say what you want to say. You told us to say what we wanted to say, so we want to know what you're thinking.
No.
Okay, so I'm
No.
just gonna say I don't hate my race. I love being black. I love everything about us. But the one thing I
Period.
don't like about us as a whole is that when we have these conversations, we always get these one-offs, and then we always get this spin on the narrative when we're talking factual thing. It's we could if we were having these conversations about how women are 304s and the culture of, like, pornography and everything else, you would have both sides of the fence. If it was like a one woman thing, like, it's easy to come up here and talk about one woman and how she acts, and you'll get a whole gig of people to agree with it. The moment you go to talking about black men or as a whole, then you always get the same pushback. And it's not just with the men, you get it with mostly once again, you always get a lot of black women. I don't agree with this and I don't agree with that, while at the same time it's right
Scorpio.
in your face.
No, that's not it, boo.
Get
Who
him.
is this? Get down with that foolishness. This is a woman's panel. Get your ass down. You ain't gave nothing.
And see, you get words like that. You gotta be bitter. You gotta be hateful. It's not that. It's just the obvious.
It's
If
the
you tick off
truth.
all of the if you tick off all of the problems, if I start with who sell drugs in the black community, who's selling it? Are you gonna say it's the black woman or the black man? Who's doing all the murder and unaliving all the criminal activity in the black community? Are you gonna say it's the black woman or the black male? Who's the one that's not getting
Honey,
educated and
can
going
I
and
ask you
beyond?
a
Is it the
question?
black woman or the black male? I'm just pointing out the obvious. It's not about hating the black men in our community. It's the fact that we don't hold them to the standards. And when we start to, people jump out with their capes and
People
they
get
want to
all in
protect
their
and they want to.
feelings. Wow,
Right.
wow,
And then you want to say, oh, you
wow.
must hate your brother or you don't know anybody positive. That's not what I'm seeing. I found my husband because I compare him to the men in my family. That's why I have a solid husband, because I had a prototype of what a real man looked like. So it didn't take me it didn't take me a lot to figure out the difference between just having a man and an actual man that was there to protect and provide. My kids never had to go to daycare. I never had to do a lot of the experiences that I see now that's going on. I never, the black bitches, and that's not it. That's never been something that I see when but the one off that I'm constantly seeing is when we start talking about black men, you have the black men that come up in defense and throw the blame on the black woman. And then you have a lot more black women defending that same
I don't
issue with
understand what
black
y'all
men.
confused about. Now I'm
Well, what
confused.
I see is, and if you took the
Be
color
nice,
blockers off,
Scorpio.
what
Be
I
nice.
seen is that the women have taken the reins, and it's not just a color. I feel that there's more women out here, and they get mad at us as a whole, not a color, as a whole, that we're too headstrong. But we didn't have a choice. I mean, Gerard made a point. There are a couple, but there ain't many. So there's a lot of
Right.
us women, no matter our color, we've had to step up and, work 2 jobs, put yourself through college, put your kids, take care of them when everybody else is going out on the weekends. I'm stuck at home because I did all the raising. I did everything. I didn't have a weekend off. I didn't have a summer off. It was always me, me,
Mhm.
me. So I am a strong, very strong, independent woman. Certain things trigger me. I agree. But when you, from
And
the
that's
forefront
okay.
looking
Don't feel bad
out,
about
I
that.
feel like the women have stepped up to the plate and we've made excuses
No,
for
they didn't
men
step
as
back
a
into their
whole.
proper role. The men was never
I
supposed to be in
agree.
the lead.
I agree with you on that. And I'm
Now
not, and
y'all
I
hit
don't,
the
and I
unfollow
see that
button,
as a
bitches.
whole because that's with white and black men. I don't feel,
And
I
this
feel
ain't
like the
no
men have
color
been
thing.
slacking. Exactly.
Shit. It's the women for me. The fuck? I love y'all, bitches. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And that's just on period.
And
Ooh,
I
hush.
believe that she's a very strong-willed woman. You need to go into politics, baby girl. Shit.
Cause honey, her feelings, she ain't wavered. And I feel her. I do. And I just wish, everybody was raised up differently. Some under a matriarchal family, some under a patriarchal family. So they really can't get it for real. You know what I'm saying? Or they have a lot of sons and just can't get it. I got 2 sons, 3 daughters. And guess what? I don't treat my children by, oh, he's a boy, she's a girl. I treat them off their abilities and their personalities is whatever's
Right.
going on with them. When I know you can do it, get your ass. Hey, but one, I might look, come on, you're gonna have to do better. Look, you understand what I'm saying? Everybody is not treated the same because of different reasons, not because they're girl or boy. Now, hey, do I want my sons to be a bitch ass nigga? A band? No. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
And I
Do
don't
I
either.
stifle them from crying? Because that's where you go wrong. Stop that shit. And stop telling your daughters, no, don't cry. It's natural. Let them do it. Get it on out so you can strengthen yourself up. When people
I
cry,
agree.
never say, oh, no, don't cry,
That's
don't cry.
exactly what my life coach is.
Stop
I
that
said I
shit.
can't ever say anything without getting emotional. And I said
Right, because you
I'm a
probably
very
been told, no,
passionate
don't cry,
person.
don't cry.
I'm very
You've been told
passionate.
that constantly. No, don't cry. It's all right. No, cry, but why are you crying? As Iyanla Vanzant say, cry with a purpose. Why are you crying? Figure that out.
And the
And
reason
that's on
I am is
period.
because like Gerard
No,
said, my
Abu, you
son
can't come up
is
here.
a black man, whether his
Mhm.
mom's white or not. He's black.
Period.
And he
Facts.
still got to walk in his shoes every day as a black man, knowing his mama's white.
Yep.
And then he has to walk down the street every day and living the same life that you women, you as black mothers fear about your black sons. I have that same fear every day.
Understood. But I still, even though y'all have black children, you understand some things, but I understand what others are saying because you will never understand fully because it's a
I agree.
whole thing to it.
I agree.
That's just one part of it. But we got you though. We got you. You still my sister, bitch. Period.
There's this little black
Period.
lady that lives
And what you can't
next
do
door to me.
or what you
She
won't think
raised me
about,
well. I speak
what you
from
can't
her
do,
heart.
Diva and Snooki, or what y'all can't do or can't think about because y'all not black, you got a black sister that can help. Or they can be like, nah, bitch, woody.
Preach.
Woody.
Amen.
No. Wooty, 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 woo. Okay? But then you got to be able to also take it when they're telling you. Just like I got to take Tat telling me, Logos, you always thinking something. Shut your ass up.
There's
I
a
have to be
motto
able
that
to take it and listen. You understand what
when
I'm saying?
there's a motto I say when I do my marches with the justice group, and I say, I can never walk in your shoes. I don't ever want to be anything or say anything foul towards you. I stand with you. I don't understand clearly what you're going through because I'm a white woman. But what I will do is stand beside you and stand with you for anything that has to do with justice and has to do with what's right. And that's the way I've always been. And that's the one reason why I can sit on a panel of almost all black women and still get respect.
Period, savvy. I'm
Respect.
from for the women, bitch. I don't mean no harm when I say it. Hey.
And
Women
I
up.
mean, that's the way I've been all my life.
Go for more.
I'm just over the whole white, black, Asian shit. Whatever. We're fucking people, and we all live in America, and we're all fucking
But we
American.
can't do that. We can't do that. Because just like you say, you not attracted to white men, so that means you see color.
Yeah, I don't like the whole narrative kumbaya that soon as we get some progress or have conversations about the black community, it becomes this kumbaya moment as it was started before the Asian community, that community. I don't hate my community because I'm focused on my community. I get every other community's plight, but every time you have these conversations, it turns into we are the world. Well, when I hear the world coming to bat for the black community and pushing some of what we need to get done, then I might have a kumbaya moment. But far as I'm concerned, when we're having conversations about the black community, I'm really not concerned about the Asian community and the the white community and the Indian community, because again, you could go in their panels and they're talking about what's going on in the community. They don't bring up the black community, and no shade, but they really don't bring up if you are half a part of the community, and that's all I'm saying. And it's not about being a divide, but those are the facts. Every time we get somewhere, we bring in these other issues, and those issues generally come out on the winning side because we have not finished addressing our own issues.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
I can say I can agree with that. But I can also say that if you're hitting your head up against the wall and it's not working, maybe change needs to happen. Maybe you might want to divert your thought process to a different way. Try it. It doesn't hurt.
I'm diverting it to be exclusively about the black community because I was a part of the kumbaya community, the all and the inclusive. So now what we need to do is really focus on our community, because we've tried every angle. Right now, when you get people on anything, they're talking about what politics can do for us, what the police need to do for us. What are we doing for ourselves?
Right.
Well, on that part, I do agree with you. Like, I can't fix that part. I can't step my foot into that part. But I am gonna, just as anybody else, I live next to a black person, a Mexican, or whoever lives next door to me. So we're all as one as a community. And if we're gonna segregate and say this, and that, then we're never gonna be at a peaceful moment. It's always gonna be turmoil. So what?
I mean, it's been turmoil when it was segregated or when it had to be desegregated. What's your point?
The point is that if everybody keeps still thinking and staying headstrong on one situation instead of trying to try to fix things as a whole, then our whole freaking United States is done for.
But
we're all going to be killing each other.
that.
It's going
That's
to
what
be a
you keep
point where
missing.
everybody's going to be
Everyone
killing each
isn't
other.
doing that. When the Asians fought for their rights, they wasn't including you, and they got it. When XYZ was fighting for their rights, they didn't include you, and they got it. So again, you keep saying we need to do this everyone thing. We're on the bottom of the totem pole for getting basic protection, for getting basic rights. So every time these conversations are had, we get someone to come in and make it this kumbaya moment. Like the LGBTQ community, they have right now they're trumping us, and we've been begging for centuries to get basic human rights, but yet we brought them in, and now they're above us.
So do you feel as a black woman that someone of a different nationality can't stand behind you and support you?
Black folks fix the home. We can just the world fix the world us first.
We can't hear you, baby doll. You're cutting out.
What you say, baby doll? What happened? We can't hear you. She probably in the bad area. Yeah, I know she working. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. And hold on. Everybody's still there. Because goddamn, it got silent. Hello? Look, let me do like the
Hello?
millennials. Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if you guys
You
are
can
paying
hear me
attention,
script
but
like breakout.
so I don't know how to do that raise your hand thingy, but I'm going to give you a case
I
in
think
point
they
with
took
what's
it.
going on.
I know.
Oh,
I couldn't find it.
They
so
took it away.
they got the reparations things going about, and it's making some headway. So I think it was like last week or the week before, the one of the main, I guess, players of the movement, or the face of the community, who does the marketing thing, he did this whole march in California, and he made a banner or a post. I think it was a post. He's part of like the team that's going up there for reparations for the Black community. Whoop de whoop. But his post said they don't want to give us reparations because they know that if they give it to us, their women are going to come to us. And in my mind, I'm like, Negro, what? What? Why would the woman who has the banker go for the nigga who needed loans? No offense. But when those are the issues that I'm talking about at the core, the mindset of the supposed
Thank
leaders of
you.
our community are always doing something that doesn't really benefit the Black community. So, my thing
Just
is,
like they
why
did
are
the
we,
stimulus checks. All they did was
how
run
many
up
women got
the
killed
stock
during the
market in
stimulus check?
Jordans.
Correct. So, here is a guy who's the marketing director. That's his ploy, and you had nothing but thousands and thousands of Black men talking, yeah. But again, my focus is saying, okay, the leaders of our community are the ones that it's supposed to be the Black man is the main one that's basically bringing more harm to the community than anyone else. So yes, we can hold women accountable, but for the vast majority of what's going on in our community, it's led by the men, which is why I'm going after, or I talk about Black men, not against, but about Black men, is because it needs to start there. Either one way, as
Because
women,
there
we
are
hold the
there are
power, we hold the
supposed
key,
leaders, right?
the
That
supposed
part.
leaders. Because if you look at the Indians, and we got Indian in our family, how they got their reserves, how they hold on to these free taxes in their land, and staking these casinos, is because the Indian men went up to war to get that for their community. So those men safeguarded the Irish when they came over here. Yes, they came over here slave. The men went out and made sure that they had things for their community. So when the reason why I say we need to hold Black men accountable for what's going on in our community is because we're not going to get that respect, because the world is a patriarch. So they respect the men more than they respect the women. The Black women, the majority of a good amount of the Black women are doing what they're supposed to do. With or without a man, with or without the father of their children, they are still transcendent. That is why that bank did an all-exclusive loan for Black women in business. And what did you see in the comments? Black men getting mad. Once again, they're trying to tear us down. They don't want to say no. That bank is a bank of investors. Those investors looked around for what to invest in, and what they decided was it's the Black women businesses that we want to invest in, because they are making millions. They're building economies, economically, and so on and so forth. So they didn't see Black people as something to invest in. They singled out Black women. So we need to start again pouring into our children. We need to start pouring into ourselves, and we need to start holding the men of our community accountable. That is the only way it's going to change. And it should not be a kumbaya moment where when we do have these conversations or we are making some headway, that we reach back and say, well, what about the trans woman? Or, what about that Asian? We need to stop that, because it's not an advantage to us to bring in all the sisters of the rainbow. It does not help the Black community.
Okay, so
That is true.
answer me this. Answer me this. So how is one woman, white woman, myself, to educate and raise my son then? So I'm just supposed to step back and not educate him because I'm white?
See, I don't like the whole minimum. That's like bringing it down to such a small thing. You got to raise your child as you raise your child. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the community as a whole. And this is why it's really not so good when you bring someone else into a conversation about the Black community, because now it's about what you're going through. I'm talking about what the Black community is going through.
But
Right.
he's a Black
Like I
man.
said, I
But
didn't
he's
want
a
to
Black man.
personalize it for anybody. You know what I mean? But everybody is taking taking a personal stance with it. When we're talking about just overall, and I know this is a painful conversation, it is hard to have. And shoes, even with me, everybody think, oh, she's just some Black man hater, and she got sons. So what is it? Am I just talking about what's generally going on, or literally every Black male that's walking the planet? Do that even make sense? Because if we talk about the hoes, as y'all like to say, the Black hoes, is that all of us? No. Has we all done maybe a whole thing or two? Probably. But I'm just saying. Stop time. Now, y'all, I'm trying to keep it light. Let's not personalize it. Please. Please. We can't personalize it. We really cannot, because this is a huge problem within the Black community. It is. And what we're trying to get you to see, even though Honey Biscuits may had a real power punch delivery, a lot, I'm going to say 98% of what she said is absolute truth, and some is her opinion. But this is truthful. It's hard to hear, but the truth hurts. And we got to take a look at this, y'all. Just really take a look at it. Get your sons and stuff out your hearts. Not literally. Calm down. Not literally. And really just look at it, the Black men, period, as a whole. I mean, just take a look at that.
Well, as a whole, I
And
want my son to be
see,
upstanding,
you
an
want your
upstanding
son.
person. As
You
an
still
upstanding
personalize.
person, but he's Black.
You
So I'm
still
saying,
personalize. We
well,
cannot
I want him to be
personalize
able
what
to
we're saying.
congregate with your Black
You ain't
son,
listening.
her Black
You ain't
son,
listening.
Ty's Black
You
son,
ain't listening. You don't
Nikki's
care.
Black
You don't
son.
care.
No, I don't.
You
I
don't care.
don't.
You're
don't hear
not
you right
listening
now.
to what I'm saying. Well, then if you can't hear it, then you just have to be quiet because we're talking about as a whole. I ain't even talking about my sons. I ain't brought them up because it don't apply.
But it does
I
apply.
ain't brought them up.
They're black men. They're a part of this
It don't
community. They're
apply.
the ones that we're raising.
Again, Diva, you really want to get out what you're saying, but it's not all black men. It's not everyone. It can never be all of nothing. It's mathematically impossible.
Facts, but aren't we supposed to start with the younger people if you're saying that majority of the older
Okay,
men
we
are
already
lost
know
and
what to do.
gone?
We already know what to do. But we're talking about seeing everything as a whole so you can come back and personalize it and correct. But if you can't see what we saying, how you gonna correct it? If you can't even see what we saying because your feelings is so wrapped up in it, thinking about your personal situation instead of it as a whole, you ain't gonna be able to correct it if you don't
Well, how
see it.
am I able to correct it when as soon as I speak, I get ostracized?
But see, now I can't even talk to you because now you feel away. Because I've been saying this whole time, don't personalize. And I said like 8 different times. Don't personalize it. Don't personalize. Don't personalize. We're talking as a whole. But now you're feeling ostracized because I just told you 8 times, don't personalize it. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't like to have panels. And I can't. This is why I didn't want to do it. Because everybody's staying. I can't deal with that. I cannot deal with that. Not like this. I just said it 50 times. What 8? Let me get accurate. 8 times, don't personalize. Because you do, you won't be able to see the big picture.
So that goes back to what I was saying. Every time there's a conversation about the black community, we get these one-ups or the ladies who exclusively date, the brothers. And it's always, well, what could you do to teach me about my child, and what am I supposed to do, and I love the blacks and da da da. And then it turns around that now we gotta go hug on that person, love on that person, teach them what to do. We've been out here fighting in the mud. So I'm not sitting here trying to include, the blackanese and the whiteanese and the Beckishas and stuff like that. I'm talking exclusively about my sisters and brothers and what we need to do. Because again, if she goes in and has something issue with her daughter, her son, and she goes to talk to an officer, a teacher, or whatever, she'll get hurt way before I get hurt. And that's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not hating on my own community. I'm not, downing them. But when I hear these, I think that the
You
best
want to
thing you
say
can do
white
when there's
people.
these
You want to say white people, right? You want to say white people. Just say it. White people.
white people, what?
Well, you're just saying. You just said if I went to the school, she would be heard over
Well,
me. So
isn't
you're
Diva white?
coloring
She
it.
Well,
said she was
yeah. Then
white,
if you want
right?
that, white people, Asian people, Hispanic. Now
Oh,
what? What?
I'm finna call.
I'm not getting what's the problem. I literally said this whole time talking about the black
So,
community. What is that?
okay,
If
but
we're
you
talking
are.
about
But
what
if
we
I were to
know,
turn around and sit there and say, well, if you went to the barber shop, you would be done first because you're black over the white woman. But if
we
I
would
were to
know
say
that's a
that,
lie.
I
Next,
would be fucking racist, right?
what
So
what?
don't
Who's
say
calling
stuff
you
like that
racist?
with the color shit
You're
because that's
saying something
exactly what
that
you're
doesn't
doing. That
happen.
is exactly what you're doing.
But you're saying stuff that we know doesn't happen.
Well, then that's your fault and on how you feel.
Hence why I say conversation should be had with the rainbow trap, because now it's my fault of how I feel when I'm sitting here talking about the facts of our community. You came up here, interjected your biracial children into the conversation, and then asked about what can be done so you can educate yourself. And we're just talking about it. That's how you educate yourself.
So now I have to stifle myself just because it's too many feelings involved now. You see what I'm saying?
It's
So
not
now, but
feelings,
I ain't
it's
getting
facts.
ready. Nah, nah,
That is
nah,
facts. She said that. She
nah,
said if I walked up in the
nah,
school and did this and that, she
nah. You
hollered
ain't
and all
see,
that, she
just
would get
like
her
Digger
way.
wasn't listening.
She
You
didn't
ain't
want to
listen.
see the
That's not
white
what I'm
shit.
saying.
It's
And
all
you
good.
still not listening to
I
what I'm
still love you,
saying.
Logo. But
See,
that's what I'm getting out of
see what I'm
what she's
saying?
saying to me.
Can't. Yeah, I know you can't hear me. I know you can't hear me. I know. It's some bullshit. What's up, Nikki B? Oh,
It's my
shit. What was that? Girl, I don't know. But that's why I really didn't want to have a panel, but everybody was trying to come up and talk at the same time. But guess what? The point of the matter is, I get what Honey Biscuits is saying. I do. I really fucking do. And hey, I don't know what to say. Leave you down there saying you can't be taught nothing. Then what are you asking the question for? It makes no sense. It's not making sense at this point. So I don't even know what the fuck to do.
No, I think her question was towards number 3 was, okay, somebody said earlier, that one lady that was talking like fucking Twista. She was sitting there saying, okay, we know that she has black men that she's going to be raising. Us black women like you or anybody else that's in this family, if we have a question, I would like you said that, or whoever it was that said that we could help you guys raise that black child, that black, whatever, woman, girl, whatever. But that's what her question was. How can you do this, and that for my black son? You get what I'm saying?
But do y'all get what I'm saying? That this was a general conversation and not even me with 2 sons personalized. I said, don't personalize it. Look at the matter at hand of the masses of what is going on. Because if you don't look at that, you can't teach your son. You can't. And babying them ain't gonna get it. And that's facts. Just saying. Because I'm telling you, baby, you keep on babying, this world gonna eat they ass up. So if you don't see the major problem as a whole, you won't even know what to teach your son. And that's a fact. That's a fact. And don't think, oh, well, the daddy did it. Shoot. The question is, with the age group we dealing with right now, was they even taught right? The fuck? Not to get gutter, but real spill. Okay? Now I'm a hush. Anybody else got anything to say? Because I'm bringing this to a close. I don't even feel right. I feel weird.
Well, I thought it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
No cap. But again,
It
progression
was
is only
a
going to
good
help.
conversation.
I think that progression, if the ladies, the 2 ladies who are interested in what can be done that they could do to help, sometimes you got to fall back. If you are looking for a black woman to help you out, then you have to understand what I'm saying. When she tried to just say white woman, everybody know who I'm talking about. If a police officer is standing in front, was getting ready to shoot
All
your
right,
mixed
I'm
son,
out.
and you
See you later. Bye.
wait, hold up, let me finish, because I'm just gonna finish. If a police officer was getting ready to shoot your son, a white woman can stand in front of that son and probably get some protection. But we know damn well a black woman might be shot through. Both of them might be unalive. So we're acting like we don't see the disparities between black and white. So I hate when you try to gaslight and say, well, that's not true. I go through the same thing you do. You do not. No other race of women can tell me about my experience as a black woman. No, I can't tell you how it is to live in your white neighborhood with your white. I can't do that. And I won't dare go into your panels or your space and say, because I banged the white man, that I understand what you're going through. You do not.
That is true. That is true. And yeah, yeah. But all this is really, really doing, just like with black men, it proves a point when we stand up and stand firm on what we saying, it's the dismissal every time. Every goddamn time.
Now, when she had an issue with the crying, that's why I said it. Everybody was rallying, oh sister, sister, sister. But now, when you don't get that support, you can't hear. You out. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be willing to hear. You got to be able to willing to hear, no matter how grimy it get. Just like we have to hear and listen, no matter how much, being spat in the face, all kind of shit. But we still stand firm on it. We still stand firm on it. But yes, we do realize that you all have black children. We understand that. But if you do not understand what the black men are doing as a whole, you will never be able to correct the problem within your household or whatever, the young men in your life, or however you want to put it. Ty?
Huh.
Yeah, nothing. I just thought maybe you want to chime in. Fuck.
Oh no, but I do want. I mean, I do want to shed some light on, the black men. Black men are in the house or not, criminal or not, jail or not. They are the most likely to be in a child's life, their children's life, whether people want to believe it or not. They are. And they are most likely to feed, eat meals, bathe, put on their baby's diapers, dress, play, read to their children on a daily basis. If anybody ain't know that. And then I want to share some lights like this too. The black man being a single father, raising a child is more likely to raise a more successful child than a black single woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to just
Exactly. And that
share some light
is
on that.
true. But again, back to the masses. What are the masses doing?
Sorry, Logos.
Let's shed
That was
light
a
on it.
self-report article. I think I know what you're talking about, but that was
No,
self-reported.
it
Just
ain't
throw
no
that out there.
article. It ain't. It ain't.
Well, like I said, we got to look at the masses of things. Because, honey, there's so few far and in between. It's sickening. I let Gerard up just because, hey, on your behalf, Ty, and because he asked, even though this was a women's panel. You know what I mean? Because I didn't think he caught the whole thing. Because, nah, we ain't talking about the whole of it. But, I mean, it's to even say that is becoming an oxymoron. You know what I mean? So, we got yeah,
And my thing
exactly,
is, when
Scorpio.
these discussions are had about black women, you do not hear them saying, "Well, it's not all black women." They rap when they go in talking about black women. They're talking about all y'all. You do not hear them saying, well, it's not that many. And no, they don't give no exceptions when they're talking about, black women are picking bad pookies and rayways. Black women are disgruntled. Black women are argumentative. They don't sit here like like most women are doing and nitpicking and giving examples of whatnot. They're going with the conversation.
No, but
And
I
I
mean,
believe we are justified in our behavior. The fuck? Cause y'all, huh? Where you go? Wait a minute, I thought you paid. Yeah, okay.
no, but I mean, I thought we wasn't talking about as a whole, right?
Now we talking about black men. The majority of we ain't talking about the few little good sprinkles that's on the birthday cake. We talking about the cake. We ain't talking about the bright sprinkles that's on there, the few good parts. No, the whole motherfucking thing. If we look at them as a whole, girl, please. And it's like until we can see that, black women, until you can see that, it will not be corrected. It will not be corrected.
Absolutely
It will
not.
not be corrected.
Logo,
Until
you hear
you
me?
actually treat these men as a whole, until you're raised to have standards for yourselves and for your children, to point out examples of how it's how detrimental it is the way that we're raised to protect these men. They will not stand up to be a man. Most black women are they're sunning grown men. You're
I
sitting
agree
here
with
talking about,
that,
oh,
but okay, if we can't look at, if we got to look at the black man as a whole, right? As a birthday cake, why would we get mad? I'm just asking the question. Why do we get mad when they say, well, you bitches and you hoes?
Well, I don't, because see, the majority of our numbers is not like theirs. We ain't killing them like they killing us. We not sitting here dragging down with unemployment and lack of education like they are either. We done
What is
soared
you
past
doing there?
their
It
ass.
ain't nothing in there.
We soared past them. So there's that.
Do we hold the black men we come across and that are in our lives accountable? I do.
Yeah,
Yes, I do. I do like a motherfucker.
me
So,
too.
so
That
I,
it's hard to
when you
relate to
say
that other shit.
all and the majority,
Huh?
it's hard for me not to just look inside the hood, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
mm, I was raised to hold men accountable. My
Mhm.
mother raised all her sons to be accountable. My
Mhm.
dad raised the boys to be accountable. That's the reason we knew to be not to be what was put in front of us, and that's the environment
Mhm.
of the hood.
Mhm.
So um it's
Amen.
so hard for me to say majority of black men, because the ones I come across, the ones in my extended family all across the United
Mhm.
States, are
Mhm.
men that have been held accountable.
But
And
that's
they
why I say don't personalize it,
no,
because
It
that's why I say that. That's why I say that, because that's just a few sprinkled here and there. But if you look
okay,
at the data, just go look at it. Look at it. And you
and
will
again,
be
I
like,
told you, I don't
what?
have the men that I'm talking about. I'm not tooting my family's horn. I don't have that dynamic in my entire family, and the families that join us, we don't have that dynamic in the entire family. I'm a realtor. I live in a very nice community. There's sprinkles of black people in the community. I can say that those
Mm-hmm.
black men are not like that. But when I go come on these things, I'm going to just do the 50-50 thing. When you hear a lot of these black brothers saying, I want a woman to come 50-50, I wasn't raised like that. Sir, you got to have 100%. I got to be 100. But if you're looking for 50-50 with a woman, you're looking for a roommate. A man's supposed to have it in him to want to 100% take care and provide for his entire house. Because all these men want traditional. Well, traditionally, a man is supposed to be the breadwinner, to bring in the finances, the wealth, the protector and the provider. So when a man doesn't have that, that's when you get what's going on now. These men can't provide or protect, therefore they're unraveling and they're unaliving black women. That's what's going on.
But what's so crazy to me is that it's like a lot of women now it's like doing this whole I'm an independent woman thing and basically coming with the I got 50 or I got half or I got 80 because I'm a strong black woman. And then it's making these niggas enabled to be on their shit like they supposed to.
Correct.
It's a lot of women that I see now take so much pride into paying majority of everything, paying this, and I'm looking like, what the fuck is going on in the world? Because I wasn't raised like that either. My grandma ain't never had to work a day in her motherfucking life. But my mama came in, and then now she's the breadwinner, and then my daddy ain't. My stepdaddy wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But she hold her man down, and that's how that shit go. But it was just strange to me. Like, hold on, why these women? Oh, I pay this, I pay that. Or I take care of him, I take care of that. It's like, what? Why you ain't making this nigga do it? Or you know what I'm saying? When they come like that, then the man just fall back and feel like he ain't got to do shit then.
Right, absolutely. Because he has to, if a man can't come in there and take care of all of the provisions, and people thinking independent it's a good thing because women have been indoctrinated to be independent, and that's great. Everybody should be independent to themselves. But when you take that and say, well, I'm independent, I don't need him, but I got him, that's already to me a fail. I'm not going to get with a dude who needs me to bring the other 50%. I'm not going to do that.
So you like you said earlier, you didn't have to send your kids to daycare. So your husband, he do everything for you.
Correct. I stayed at home till my kids never went to daycare.
Mm-hmm.
And when
so
I
he took
did
care
go
of
back to
everything
work,
fully.
because
Got
I'm sorry.
He took care of everything fully.
Correct.
That's what's up.
And still do. And it's not an anomaly because one, I have a standard about myself. I'm not a sexual deviant. I've never dated a dude because I looked at him and he was cute. That was the least of the things. Now, of course, I got to be attracted to him, but I'm not finna get with a dude because he's cute.
Right.
It
Or
goes
what he
more.
got
I
on.
go through my own little checklist. There's things you have to have in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Really
niggas
do.
that
People
do
really
the
need
best
to
fucking are usually the ones
prioritize.
who don't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
That's real spill. That's why I say I that type of stuff do not
Yes, ma'am.
impress me. I don't give a damn what kind of chain you got, nigga. Is you for real? Stop it. I think that shit is weird.
Yeah,
But
it's weird as hell. But then you got these women who that's what a nigga got to have in order for her to be with him. You know what I'm saying? He got to have a nice car in order for her to be with him. If you see them little, you know what I'm saying, them little projects that being done on how women would just walk past the motherfucker just because they ain't got no shoes on, but then as soon as the nigga getting into a Ferrari or something, oh, that bitch turning around. You know what I'm saying? It's weird as fuck. It's disgusting,
yes,
actually.
it's bizarre.
And truth be
It's
told,
bizarre.
I think financially I'm good and my husband's good. Well, the one thing I can tell you is when I met him, he told me he was a janitor. I didn't know he owned the company. And if you looked at him, he doesn't brands people with money, they do not wear their money. So when I see a dude with
Thank
looking like a
you.
walking brand billboard and he got Nike shoes, Nike pants, Nike clothes, big jewelry, that to me is a poor-minded person. I don't care what
Yes.
people say. Wealthy
Yes.
people, you do not know they're wealthy.
They don't. They don't. They don't. They don't. Oh, God, I don't know. I don't know how much more I can express that. I almost cried. It's like that's clown dress up to me. You a clown and you broke. That's what that looks like to me. I don't care what the
Grown man
rappers
looking like a
doing.
whole
They don't do
billboard for
that
Gucci.
outside of a
That shit look
show.
crazy to me.
It's bizarre. Wear your own name. The hell? Hmm I don't know. I mean, it's again with the what you call it, it's the priorities for me. Y'all
Yeah.
weird.
Well, I know my stepdaddy, he always looked nice. So, dressing up was our thing. But his shit was way together. But, dressing nice and looking decent and having your shit
Nice
together,
don't equate
that
necessarily.
looks
I
good.
mean, a name brand. That's all we saying. Cause shit,
Well,
most
shit,
stuff that really
that
costs
shit
a
was,
lot of money, it don't be having a name on it. To be honest.
yeah, that's for sure. Cause that nigga, that's what he wore. Name brand
Hmm
shit. But his shit was together. And like I said, he made less than my
Thank
mama,
you,
but you
bro.
would have never knew. You would have never knew. You'd have never fucking knew
Yeah,
the way he had the shit
yeah.
down. You know
As
what
I
I'm
taught
saying?
my boys, it's not the clothes that make you. It's you that
You
make the
make the
clothes. You can have on a
clothes.
plain khakis
Hmm.
and a white t-shirt. It's you that make the clothes. So when I see men buying these clothes to look like something, that shows what their character are. You're letting
Hmm.
something else speak for
I'm
who
sorry,
you are.
logos.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought you wanted to come up. It's all right, baby. But
And if
yes,
you
y'all,
notice, whenever
this was
whenever
awful.
one of
This
certain
was
type
awful.
of brothers get angry, the first thing they go to is, I got my car and I got my this and I got all these materialistic things where you're talking to them about their character or how their work ethics. The first thing they go to is their possessions, as if you can take that somewhere or do something with it. Everything
And
on
but
this planet that you buy, once you buy it, it loses value. But
but
ask half of these
honey,
brothers, do they own property, land, or
yeah,
anything like that, or do they have something to pass down to their girlfriend or children? Most of these people are
right.
doing GoFundMe's just to fucking bury these brothers who got killed because someone else said something about something.
And what's so crazy is that it goes back because I don't like in my life, like my circle of friends, yes, it's the women like you, it's the women like logos. That's who I hang around, believe it or not. Those are the women that I grew up around, right? But then when you see majority of these women, they say this shit, what you said that these men say is because the major it's a lot of women as well that's what a man gotta have, or that's all a man gotta have or show, and they got them in the snap of a finger. You understand what I'm saying?
But you know
It's
what?
it's
Them
bare.
same
I feel like
women,
it's barely
those
any women
same
like
women, just like
us or
Muriel,
you.
as soon as they get a man, what the first thing they go do? They go buy him Nikes and buy him video games. The shit you ain't even doing for your own children. You see these same women who look at the man
Hmm.
for his material. As soon as they get him, they whining and dining him. By even my sons when they were dating, these young
Hmm.
girls buying my sons PS3s and I'm like, who?
Hmm.
Well, why are they buying all of that? Young girls spending three, four
Yeah.
hundred dollars on my sons.
Yes.
Hmm
Like giving a
Well,
whole check
guess
to
what? I
these
put a stop
men.
to that shit. What the hell is this girl buying you this shit for? I told my son, now he's 16. I don't like it. And why are you accepting it? You should be been bought her something. He better not buy you another goddamn thing.
Let him
Not
do his
nothing.
thing. Don't be no hater.
No, I ain't no hater. The fuck is you doing? Nah, that's real spill, because I don't want him getting used to no weird ass shit like that, because it's weird.
Hey,
It's
mammies
weird
need
and
to
it's
come
not
and talk to him.
appropriate. Right. But it's not, I don't want him even getting used to that. So what you do for her? Why is she doing this? That was my question.
Yeah,
Because you
because
don't need
that's
a
this.
fuck ass thing.
Because that's this new generation logos. When I
It's
say
no.
these girls be
I wish my daughter
literally
would. I'll knock your teeth
taking
out your mouth.
It ain't
pride
just the girls. Now
into
you got these
doing
old
this
women
shit.
now. These old
These
women who
grown
coming back
ass
out here
women,
without children.
yes,
They just as bad.
they are horrible. And that's what I said. Like, I've never seen no shit like this a day in my life, to where they glorify giving a nigga their whole entire check. They glorify and talk about buying this and buying that, or just take too much pride into saying that, oh, I take care of everything he do. I everything he got on. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Right. Ain't no way. What's that mean? Ain't no way, bruh. Ain't no way. Man, ain't no way, bruh. But I was just really wanting my son to see, like, not that I was not want him to enjoy her or anything like that, but he needs to know and not get comfortable with no woman doing for him. Because now
For him,
you
right?
gonna do for
Fact.
you.
That's true, because I tell
You
my
done missed
son
it
that
all,
every
boo.
day.
You done missed it all. But yeah, you're going to do for you. And why is she
Yeah,
doing it? I need to
yeah,
know the why.
I agree.
I
I
just
agree with
didn't.
that
I don't
so
know.
much.
I ain't
Don't
feel that.
ever
I ain't feel
put
it.
yourself in a position to where you will need a motherfucker for anything, because they got control over you when they do.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the first thing a bitch will tell you to do. I don't give a fuck how much she give you. Guess what? When she say get the fuck out, what you got when you walking up out that door? A bag full of clothes.
Exactly.
So
And
you don't never
see,
want to be in no
not that I
situation like
haven't
that.
dated outside my race, because I have, but see, the young white girls are told or taught, see, because Emil, he heavy in that football. Also, they trying to get him. He coming up in 11th grade. They
Mhm.
trying to get him. Watch out.
I know.
Mm-mm.
I'm
He ain't got
looking
his daddy.
forward to this shit now. That's my baby
No.
gonna be young, playing for varsity. Man, come on now.
My son been playing for varsity since his freshman year, Ty. You heard
That's
me?
what Simon baby
They
be doing.
own him.
He's a
You know
freshman.
we know it. And they gonna be on him for his whole high school career. Watch and see.
Well, look, guess
Watch and
what?
see. You gonna be tired as hell.
They gonna be
You gonna
tired of
be
me,
tired.
because I'm be fighting them hoes off. Yes, I called y'all little daughters whores, so stay the fuck away from my son trying to throw in some coochie. He ain't going.
Exactly. Exactly.
And see,
Even
you know what
my
I think
daughter
happened to
Emily had
black.
to
What
bust
I
in.
think happened to
Nope.
what I think happened to black women was when, when I was growing up, they were always talking about what white women do. Oh, they don't mind doing this and they don't mind doing that, right? While we had a standards in the 80s and the 70s and so on and so forth. We wasn't doing all of that stuff. And they were talking about,
Right.
oh, well, she'll suck a D, she'll do this and all that other stuff. While we wasn't doing it. Now that you got the majority of black women doing it, you still down. You're still beneath them. You got people like Kim K, who came out here banging a black man to get her come up. No one's called her a hoe. But then you got Black China and the rest of them. She's a hoe all across the board. So when
They
we go to
did call
lowering
Kim
ourselves to
Kardashian
be,
a hoe. But
huh?
then I was like, they did call Kim Kardashian a hoe. But then I
But
was
she's still
like,
mad.
is
She's
she
still
really a
mad.
hoe though? Is she?
I
Or
mean,
did
I don't know.
was her stuff just publicized? It was
I
just
would
what
say
about 3 or
that
4
you I
men.
would say if I would say that you can get someone like Kim who could come out here with the sex tape and the mixes, and she will not be wifed up. But you know, you will find a brother to wife her up. That's why all of them can get wifed up. Not, I mean, or baby mama. They'll still take a chance for her. But you as a black woman go out there acting like these other women and thinking you're gonna get standards. No, because they're gonna put you down there. The brothers will put you down there. You a hoe, you a 304, but you will turn around and go get a 304 from another community and put her up on a pedestal. And it's the same thing that's going
Mm-hmm.
on now with this tone where everybody's sitting there talking about what is it, the eating ass thing. When the fuck did black women start eating ass like this? Like that shit was like nowhere near. Now all of a sudden all these young girls I'm like, eat his ass. I be damned. And that comes from, once again, we're looking we're
I was
we're
about to
looking
say
at what
something.
other people are doing and thinking that we need to mimic those things to get an advantage as a woman, when we just need to focus and do us, hold ourselves to a standard, and then we'll get what we're looking for. But if we keep doing other things because the masses are doing it, well, let me do what Becky doing so I can get me a good man or XYZ. You're not. If you go to doing what the LGBTQ community doing, mimicking them, black women didn't even wear this much makeup as they do now.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
All of
You
this
know,
stuff, we were naturally beautiful.
I was criticized on a wedding photo of mine, right? Because I did not have on a bunch of makeup. But from what I was taught, you're supposed to look as natural as possible on your wedding day. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? What did you want me to go down to the Mac store and get done up? Well, I mean, what? What? Girl, hush. And my wedding was outside. I know you fucking lying in August. Uh-uh. No, ma'am. You got to show. Cause you the prize, not him. Show your real beauty, bitch. Sorry for being ghetto, but real spill.
That's what we need to bring it back to. Black women showing the men of our culture in the world that we are the prize, because we're the ones that set the trends. Mostly everything out here is cultivated in our community. But every time we get a little something,
What you
something,
talking about, M
again,
Queen?
I'm sorry.
And now I'm talking to M Queens in the comment. What you talking about? Makeup? No, it ain't even a generational thing. That's maybe a traditional thing, but how you looking like a whole different person on your wedding day?
I mean, look how many black
'Cause they be
women ran
looking,
out there getting BBLs. Like most black women were naturally set. And then you see them, whole black women transforming their face, don't even look feminine, no longer soft
hey,
anymore.
well,
Just so much makeup, so much lip injections and cheeks and so on and so forth. It's like hypercentric. What do you call it? Before they were called what do you call the not transvestite, the cross dressers. A lot of women to me be out here what they say, oh, why y'all confuse us with trans, because y'all have on so much makeup. You're hyper
mm,
situated, your features mostly like how I see a lot of trans people wear their makeup. They have to do that. But most black women don't have to wear. We're naturally beautiful. We got natural shades of our look. So I see a lot of black girls go out here with full makeup so thick, it's like, golly. Even the girls, these are high school girls, and I never really seen their face. I'm
mm-hmm,
like, girl, how do you go get up every day and put that much makeup on?
mm-hmm.
And all you see when you have daughters, you see a lot of black. You so pretty, you so pretty, you so pretty, you beautiful, you this, you that. You putting all this into black girls about their looks, and then they don't have anything else to give.
Well, M Queens, I was just saying that about the makeup part. I don't know where you got the black and white thing coming in there because this applies to all women. I believe you should look your natural self on your wedding day as little as possible. as little as possible. You want to add a little, you know, a little something, but you should look like yourself. What did Honey say? I don't recall. I don't know. But this was a subject matter of race.
Mm.
How it all started. It came from my single. Didn't want to do a panel. Now everything a shit show and in shambles.
I don't think
It's
so,
horrible.
though. I don't think so. I think
I
it's
don't
a
know.
good
Everybody
conversation to be
feelings
had.
is away,
No, if
and it's
people
like,
just have
God damn.
disagreement. But I'm saying it's agree to disagree. I mean, shit, if motherfuckers get emotional about it, they get emotional about it. But it's agree but disagree. But I think it was a real good panel. I really think it was. It was very good.
Thank you, boo.
This is an awesome panel. We need to have these conversations, whether they hurt or not, whether it hit home or not. Motherfuckers, get out their fucking feelings and just listen to the truth, whether it hurt or not. I mean, shit, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like when people just be, their feelings and stuff be hurt. It's like, oh my God, what can I do? How can it be fixed? And that puts me in
But
a
you can't fix
frenzy.
it. You can't fix it, Logos. That's just something that some people just gotta fix it within themselves. Sometimes you don't want to hear what you gotta hear. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta hear it. You own something, you ain't gonna like it all the time. That shit ain't gonna, make you feel good.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
it is what it is.
It's the awkwardness, and I can't.
It's not
I want to be
awkward.
hating this shit.
Well, I don't
Oh
know.
no, this
I'm
girl,
just
we
doing
been
it.
had a long
What got
ass
y'all?
panel, boo. You missed it, honey.
I
You missed
see. Okay.
it. Cause I don't know what to
But
do or say.
well, I don't know, girl. But yeah. Uh,
I don't know
what
what to
was it
say.
about? Was it about makeup or what?
No, it just ran down to it. It ran down. Yeah, it got personal.
I mean, I
God
don't know.
damn it. Well, we was talking about black men as a whole, but I was trying to get everyone to see, not to personalize it, because I do have two sons. I have brothers. You know what I'm saying? But we
Uh-huh.
can't personalize it when it's the majority of black men that it has failed. Has failed our
Uh-huh.
community as a whole. It's a shit show, but they want to be lead, but you can't lead. But I just truly believe,
Oh, the
call me a
men.
feminist.
Uh-huh.
Right, call me a feminist if you want to. And this ain't even no black or white thing. I think the women are moving back into their true role because men can't even barely multitask, but we
They
can.
hate this shit.
We've
Right.
always been able to do it. That's why I say
Mhm.
the king never had an answer for the parliament until he visit the queen's chamber. Then the next morning he'll come out with the answer when he meet back up with the parliament. Okay?
Mhm. Mhm.
We are the true leaders. And so we're moving back into our position. Now sit your ass down and go build a house and shut up. Shit. Y'all built for what? Speed and strength. And that only.
And
Shut
I
your damn
believe
mouth.
in that. I believe that the man is there to be the protector and the provider.
Well, you
We're
guys
Go out
kind
supposed
of
to be
there and
not
get the
agree
food
with
and the
this.
money and hush.
no, we're supposed to
If
be the
you read
nurturer.
the actual the roles of the black women prior to slavery, they always think that the males were the warriors. It was not. The women were actually the assassins of the African communities. We were the ones, because
Mm-hmm.
would walk up in there, slink around, and we were the ones that get we were the ones were the protectors. Now the men there were, they had the looks, they had the strength, but women were able to, call the war plays and, go ahead and seduce somebody and, kill a general and so on and so forth. That's why
Hence
I
the
think the
black
dynamic of what's going
enchantress.
on. Correct. that's why I think the dynamic of a black woman in America, we can't figure out where we sit, because they're telling us you need to be like the white woman and humble yourself and everything. We can't fall into that roles because it's not in our DNA. It's not in our genetics. You know, we were what was her name? Queen Sheba, whatever her name was, or one of them that came up in there that Alexander wanted to, get with. She came there when they wanted to go to
I
war
think
with
that
her
was
tribe.
Nefertiti because she got a son with Alexander the Great.
This
She
woman
got
didn't
3
go with
baby
him.
daddies.
So I don't think it was Nefertiti I'm talking about. I think it was one of them, but he didn't marry him. Alexander wanted to marry her, but she didn't. So he
Right.
tried to go to war with
Nah,
her,
they ain't
and
get.
she came
I don't think
on her
Nefertiti
elephant.
married none of them. She
Oh, I
didn't
thought you
marry
said
none
she
of them.
did.
She just
Okay.
want the alliance. She want the alliance across the globe. So I got a baby
Mhm.
daddy here, here, and here. The leaders of these different. She got the leaders of the different nations that was around her, and had a baby with their ass to form an alliance. Yeah, not Nefertiti, Cleopatra. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I mean, so many great ones. Hey, what can I say? Yes, baby, she had them 3 baby daddies going into war at each other.
See,
Y'all better
women are
wake up.
still tactful. They call it petty or spiteful, but women sit there and we play chess. We get in there. That's what the patriarch of the world is probably why it's so upset right now. Because truth be told, maybe women should be in control. They try to say that we're catty, we won't fight and everything, but objectively, we do take a stance and we do have these conversations. We consider the picture as a whole, because they always like to say if women get into roles of leadership, then they'll go to war. Well, right now the world's been ran by men, and we're always at war.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. So yes, y'all. Basically, wake up. That's all I'm saying. Stop falling for the okie doke. Don't fall for the okie doke. And it's okay. I know y'all want to protect your sons and all this. Yes, do that. Do that. But you got to see the full picture in order to guide. Hey, I know they got their dads there, but you still have to have that feminine guide as well. It has to be equal balance. It has to be an equal balance. That's all. That's all I'm saying, guys. That's it. That's it. For real. And it must be done. But if you don't see the whole picture, if you continue to personalize it, it's going to go bad. It's going to go bad. So take a look at it so you can recognize a problem when it arises. That's all we're saying. And I know everybody want me to be on the black man is everything. No, 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 no. I'm sure I've lost some support today. But hey, it's the woman for me, bitch. And I mean that. We are the most powerful. And I ain't just talking about, even though we talking about the black community, I'm talking about women, period. We are the bringers of life. Know that. Know that. Can't nobody do it like us. Everybody want to be like us. Period. If you don't see it, then take the mask off. And with that said, well, I'll see you in the morning. Everybody, I thank y'all for y'all input. And thank you, Honey Biscuits, for coming up and talking. This was great. And yeah, my head hurt a little bit, but I'm gonna get up out of here. And thank y'all. Ooh, child. Good night.